Hey everybody, today we actually have another Optoma to look at. This is an Optoma HD37. You can see the regulatory number there. This particular projector was sent in because there was a power situation, and then after that they were unable to get it to start properly, and it just was acting wonky. So he sent it in to me. Now, what I am seeing is it does turn on, but this keyboard's acting funky. I'll demonstrate. Turn it on, and I'll show you what I mean by acting funky. It, we get the Optoma. There we are. Now it's a little more focused. And then once it goes to the home screen, the keyboard doesn't work right. So it goes to this factory reset, searching for source, goes back to the logo, and watch. I'm pressing menu, and instead of it bringing up the menu, it's cycling through the sources. If I press power, same thing. All the buttons cycle through the source. However, if I take my remote, the remote does stuff. However, as soon as I press a button on the top, the menu goes off and we go back to this screen. So I suspect there's something going on here. I did notice, I don't know if you guys can see it, that little mark right there looks like liquid. I don't know. Look, I can't even, I won't turn it off. I have to do it with the remote. There we go. So that makes me wonder if maybe some moisture got in it. So I think that's what we're going to check to see if there's any kind of moisture damage here first. But either way, we got to take it apart. So let's get you guys moved around. Alright, so let's get the lamp out first. Wow, so the PH1 is too big. That lamp door screw is tiny. Let's see. Yep, there we go. It is captive. And it has a little rubber thing to hold the door. That's kind of cool. And there's the lamp assembly. It's a 581111 11118543-SOT. There'll be a link for the lamp up here and in the description. Be sure to check for the coupon code if you purchase a lamp assembly. Let's get this out. There we go. This is an original lamp. You can see it has the good lens coating. That's what you want, and that's what all the lamps that I have in the link, they have that proper lens coating as well. Then we can see the lamp blower fan, the exhaust fan. It's not very dirty. We can see the color wheel as well in there. So we need to take out, let's see, 1, 2, those 3 screws. Alright, those are, oh, there we are. Those are short. So those are the ones that are going in the top. Very short helical. Then also this one. which is also a short helical screw. Alright, and then we're going to be careful we don't knock that lever off the door switch. We'll take these three out of the front. Okay, is that going to release the front yet? Nope, not yet. Oh, let's get these. Now these are short, but smaller. Hopefully that's focusing. See? Alright, and then two in the back. And then we'll follow the arrows that are around the side. And these are all the short helical threads, so that's good. That makes it easier to not forget them. Oh. Top. I'll bet you the top, and then the front. Yep, or at least the top. You can see the that clip right there. There we go. Well, does this come off? I bet you this comes off. See, it's loose, but it's kind of caught. I feel like this should. Ah, I see. Come on. And then let's disconnect this cable here. Usually don't pay enough attention to these, but I feel I really should. Somebody pointed out that it would have been helpful, so I'll be sure to do that. So to disconnect these, it's a two-piece connector. The white part stays, but the black part actually unlatches and flips up like that, and then you can pop the wire out. And I think I found the problem. If I had to guess, I'm going to say that's coffee or maybe soda of some sort, but that's, or water maybe, I don't know, but that's a problem. So let's keep going. So we're gonna take this off and check it. I was thinking of trying this this keyboard. This is out of a PJ905, I think, and it actually probably would work. They're very similar projectors here, but I'm not positive the pinout's the same, and I don't want to find out the hard way that they're not. So instead, thinking let's just keep investigating this and see what we find. See some corrosion around here. That looks okay. Let's look in the connector. Let's see. Oops. Yeah, and those cables look okay. So it's all diode steering. That's what they're doing. So we got these diodes. And the other board, this has a chip on it. So I kind of doubt that that would safely work. So I'm not gonna take the chance. We'll just save this for the other Polyvisions. Let me see if I have another keyboard though. Something I just noticed. See that mark there? That means the water came in, or the liquid came in, probably from this side. I see some over here too. Let's take that off and just make sure there's nothing, no corrosion under there. Because I do have another board. This one might work. It's a test board. The cable will work at the least. So worst case, we'll swap the cable. Alright, so I don't see anything there. Board looks clean here. Which is a good sign. Yeah, that all looks alright. No corrosion, that's good. I wonder if there's just... I don't know, I'm trying to see if there's any corroded traces. Or I wonder if one of these switches thinks it's pushed. They'll feel okay. Although that power LED looks curious. Looks kind of dark. Alright, well, let's get this. Let me get this metal shield out of the way. And plug all these wires back in. So, lamp. And need to get a thing to bypass the lamp door switch. Be right back. Alright, so I have the keyboard, just have just a jumper in there. That'll make it think the door is shut. So let's hook the original keyboard back in. Latch that down. And let me get a piece of foam. There we go. Just so we can kind of keep an eye on it. And then we'll get a power cord. Alright, so there's our standby LED. Does flash, that's good. So, power. Blinks. Lamp is coming up. I see Optoma on the screen, which is what we want. But what I'm hoping is that with this out, we can press menu and see menu. And not just have it go through. Whoa. Hey. Let's see. Alright. It's not remotely focused. There we go. That's a little better. You guys can probably see it now. So I am using the keyboard This looks good. Let's see what the information says. Okay. There's actually nothing to go to in here, so that's all we have there. Okay. That's out of the menu. So I wonder if something was sitting funny and maybe that board was being pressed in a way that it shouldn't. But what we're going to do now is we're going to go into this service menu and just check it. So it's again power, up, right, up, left, menu. And there's the service menu. I wish I knew how to get to service too. Not quite sure how to do that yet. Let's see, color wheel delay, we're going to leave that alone. Lamp hour information. It's been totally reset. Oh wow. Oh. Let's get out of there. So again, power, up, right, up, left, menu. Debug mode, we're not worried about that. That's good. Let's just go through these guys here. There's white, red, green, blue, black, RGB ramp, color bars, step bars, checkerboard, horizontal lines, vertical lines, diagonal lines, horizontal ramp, vertical ramp, We got our grids. Full screen, none. That's where we'll stay. Let's see, enter. No. No. You do wonder though why I can't get into that service too. I might have to do a little bit of research, but that's not really an issue here. The lamp, they reset the lamp timer clearly at some point, or the factory reset caused it. I'm pretty sure that lamp they must have set that back, because look, I can just crank that up or down. That's a little weird. I don't want to do that. Let's see what we get now that I did that reset. Just curious. Yeah, it just goes back to 0. But the important part is that the keyboard is working. This right here is working fine. So I'm going to turn it off. Yep. And then I'm going to get the rubbing alcohol and we're going to clean that up. Okay, so I've got a little thing with a bunch of rubbing alcohol in it right here. So all I'm really going to do is just get all of these buttons thoroughly soaked. Now I'm using anhydrous, so it should just all evaporate. It's, 99.9% water free, just pure alcohol. So I'm hoping any crud will dissolve and come out. I did. There was some Sharpie on here that came up, and that'll happen. This power LED is curious, though. I wonder if it's a 2-color LED and one side blew up. Might actually have to look under the magnifying scope, microscope thingy. Alright, so that side's good. Let's also just get some around here. Just gonna go over top of all these parts just in case any of that liquid got on those and dried. I didn't see anything, it's just weird. That's good. Alright, so let's get that cover. This thing. And see what we can determine from here now that these cotton swabs are kind of gross. Let's get some alcohol in here. Let's see what happens. See if that's water. Oh, some dead bugs. Trying to see if that's coffee or if that's water or what that is. I mean, that up here, that looks like rust. Yeah, see that if it was coffee, I'd expect it to start dissolving almost instantly. So instead, I suspect that there was a water leak that dripped down inside here. Because that's how this stuff, let's get these buttons up, that's how this seems to be acting. But then the color, like it kind of looks like coffee the way it's dried. Maybe it was black coffee, no sugar. Sugar always makes it worse. Let's zoom you guys out so you can see a little more as I do it. I'm just trying to get all that out. Now, let's pop that. That's that thing for the lens adjuster. I'll show you that in a little more detail when it goes back in. But let's just get all this cleaned up if we can. Alright. Alright, that's better. Then I like that. Alright, those look good, and that looks good. Alright, so let's go look at this on the scope, or on my, my microscope, and see if there is something wrong with that LED. And that looks good. It was just a little dirty. When I first took it out, it looked dark, so I thought maybe it had burned up. But it's just a single color, not a dual color LED, so that's fine. Now this is all clean, so I'm feeling a lot better about it. I think what we'll do is we'll carefully reassemble this. Take out my little shorting wire, which I save. Let's put these buttons, whoops, wrong way. Those buttons in, and we get our light pipes for the LEDs. That goes there. And this goes here. We're going to line up with the pins and the alignment holes. Now, and since these holes are so short and the screws are so short, we're going to be extra careful about cutting new threads. One more. That's good. That wire back under there, and we'll plug her in. Yeah. And then we know these are clean, and that was plugged in there, and that's going to go up, so that goes this way. And again, for these kind of connectors, you want to make sure that latch is up. And then we slide the connector, the wire in, so that it goes underneath those little teeth there where the connections are. Then snap that down. You'll know if you're in far enough because that line that's on that plastic will be about lined up with the latch. So that's good. This is ready to go back on. Now we need to put that metal frame back on. So let's unplug. Let's see, what did I have to unplug? Thermal switch, ballast control. I think that's that's ballast control. I don't know what that fan maybe, probably fan. So we're going to set this back down and make sure these pieces are protected. You know, they're over top of everything. And I have some new tape we can put down for that RF shield stuff. Let's see, and that all looks good. Alright. This is going to plug back in. This is the RCA audio. That I'm going to have to replace. Speakers plugged in. That fan. There we go. I have other fresh Captain tape we can use, so let's plug this stuff in to that fan, that temp sensor. We'll put some tape here in a moment. Let's go to the other side. Let's get these guys plugged back in. We have this fan, that fan. Get its wires down in there, and then ballast control. There we are. I do see something a little concerning on that fan wire. See where that red's a little pinched? We'll keep an eye on that. Right, right at the right where it leaves the fan there. As long as that fan spins up, we're not going to worry about it, but we'll keep an eye on it. Alright, so let's put these screws back in. And these are all machine screws with the washer already included. So I got that one. We have two more, three more. One. Perfect. I like that. And these screws are all for the top, so I'll put those in. There's that one rusty one we're going to clean up a little. So we move the alcohol out of the way. Just going to set the lens cap over there. Keep that ready. Let's see, next thing we'll check. Oh, let's get that tape done. This right here. New piece of tape. So I bought a roll of this tape here, and it's 2-inch, but I figure for thin stuff I can do it this way. So we want to be about as wide, so that should work. And it has a backing on it, so we just peel the backing off and stick it down. So let's get my spudger so I can get that backing loose. I wish they left like a little edge or something. There we go. Just get it started. Here we go. Oh, nope, as I drop it. Just want to get it. There we go. On there, and stick it down like that. That is cool. Too cool for school. And then put some over here too. I could use capped on tape, but for here this will work just fine. And I kind of just like using it, so let's see. There we go. There we are. Right there. See? Nice that looks. So yeah, if you do anything where you ever have to peel that kind of tape up, get yourself a roll of this stuff. It was about 25 bucks and 65 feet 2 inches, so that'll last me forever. The only thing I didn't realize at the time is that it is backed tape. It doesn't stick to itself, so I'm going to have to find something to hold this roll together, like another piece of tape, like that. I'll just crumple up the end so I can peel it off. So there we go. Oh yeah, that'll work fine. So that's good. Now we can put the top cover on. So to reconnect the wire here, you want to make sure the clip is up. It's flipped up like that. And then I'm going to slide the wire in just like we did on the top. Make sure your hand's not blocking the camera. Go around this way, make sure that's pushed in, and then push the latch down. And is that straight? Not really. There we go. It's kind of hard to do that on camera, so you just want to make sure that's in there and it's nice and straight. Alright, so then just bring that over and get it back into position. Give it a little squeeze like that. And then we'll get the door here. We could take that screw out, but this should just kind of, we pull it a little bit, it should just pop underneath like that. There we go. Now that's on there. So then we can set this in place. Let me just going to snug that screw in because I want it to hold the door latch, because I want to try this before we put any more screws in. So let's get the power cord, not bump the tripod. Let's see, standby. That standby light looks brighter. I must have had a bunch of crud on it. I wonder if that was causing the problem. I wonder if the rust around that LED was creating like a weird voltage thing so that the diodes wouldn't steer the buttons properly. Just a theory. Alright, we have a picture. English, yep. Menu? No. Oh. Nothing. Interesting. Let's see if we take it off, if anything changes. So look at that. When I lift it up, see, it's not connected. But as soon as I set it back down, something is hitting on something that it's not supposed to. What might that be? Nothing obvious. Okay. So right now it's not working. It's acting weird, even with the top off. So we definitely have something going on with the keyboard. Let's see if it's... I think what we're going to try, let's turn it off. I think what we're going to try is I'm going to try a different keyboard wire. So let me get another wire. Alright, so I put a new cable in. Alright, it's waking up. That's the wire I took off. Just looking, I don't see anything definite. It's hard to say. Still doing it. So it is not the wire. So let's see. Well, actually, let's turn it off. And then I'll be back to show you. We're going to take that keyboard off. But I need to put the old wire back on. Alright, so that's out. You can see now that we have standby. Let's fire it up again. Coming up. Alright. Let's see what the screen looks like. Alright, back to the reset. Yep. So if I flex it, I was flexing the board, I bet we have a button with crud in it. So what I did was I actually went like that, kind of bent the board a little, and now it's doing what we expect it to. I bet one of these buttons is having trouble. So let me turn this off. You let it cool down and we're going to check the buttons with the meter. Alright, I'm trying to figure out a way that I can show you guys what I found versus what's happening. Now what I think happened is, I think the source button is funky. Because if I do that, that acts like the rest of the buttons were acting. But now, if I do menu, you can kind of see the bottom of it there. And then keystone. Keystone's not really doing anything, but I think I need an image actually to adjust. Like I have to have an input to have the keystone. Alright, make sure my computer woke up, and it did. I mean, in all reality, we could just unhook the keyboard and he could use his remote. But, you know, that's not really the right way to do it. Let's get focused. Alright, and it came up without asking me to set the language. So that tells me that keyboard worked okay. And then I'm going to put the keyboard back into the plastic and we'll see how it responds. So turn it off, let it cool down, and then I'll be back with it reinstalled into the plastic. Alright, so I screwed the, just screwed the keyboard back in. Let's see, we have green standby. Yep. Blinking. Yep. Let's see what happens. Oh, there we go. Looks like I'm turning the computer off. Well, at least we know that it has a good signal. And all of the buttons are responding the way they should. So let's turn it off. Alright. So I'm going to let this cool down, and then we'll put the screws back in, and then we'll come back over here and we'll try it again. And I've relocated back to the bench so that we can get these, get all these screws put back in. First we're going to start with those two. Those are the smaller screws. You can see that right there. It's that thin helical thread. There's just two of the small ones here and here. Then we just have a bunch for the bottom, and we're good. And they are all these, like we saw at the beginning, these short helical thread. And since they're so short, I'm going to do them by hand. That, and then last but not least, right there. Okay, there we go. Let's take it back over, set it up, and wrap this video up. So this projector's been running for about 40 minutes now, no problem. The buttons still work. You guys can't see it, but it says Keystone right now. So we're fine here. I'm going to go ahead and slide this piece back on. You can see it has those two tabs that go under there, and then the nubs that lock it in place. So it's really simple. It's actually easier to show with the light on. So they go down in there like that, see? And then those go like that, and then like that. Now that's in, and the lens is adjustable. And then we have our zoom control. So that's it. Yeah, that's pretty good. And if you have any questions about your Optoma HD37 or similar model, go ahead and put them down in the comments. And if you need a replacement lamp for your HD37 or similar model, check the description. I have a link in there, as long as a coupon code, save you some money. Most importantly, thank you for watching.